What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Pangu Toys Commander, or their version of an oversized Magic Square Light of Peace, which is their version of Optimus Prime. So I got this from Alan Lee. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. And I wasn't planning to get this, so I appreciate him allowing me to send this directly to me. I think he got this from Shozi Store if you're interested. Now, this thing is interesting because it really is just an oversized version of this. Pretty much the same figure. There's a few minor changes, but for the most part, it is identical. Transformation is the same. Now, this is the EX version, and the EX version is actually painted. It's fully painted. You can see there's a finish on the red, a finish on the blue, a finish on the white. This guy does not have a finish on it, so I just want to make that clear right away. It does have a little paint, but the red is not a finish. So there's a little yellow paint right here. You got yellow paint here on the arms, yellow paint on the crotch, and then silver paint here on the legs, which is actually new because this one didn't have that. And then silver paint on the toe instead of this one just had the die-cast piece, which was unpainted. It does have die-cast down there in the foot, so at least they incorporated that from the EX version. But other than those things, and I guess the head crest and the face mask are also painted. Other than those things, it is an unpainted figure. So just keep that in mind if you're expecting, a certain level of premium. This is not necessarily what you would get with something like Lewin Resources. That's kind of a really upscale premium version of MP10. This is really just an oversized version of the Magic Square. All right, let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. The head is on a ball joint, so it gets way back, and I believe that's because they cut out the head, just like the original. Now, there is a panel here on the back of the head, and that is for a battery compartment. So I recommend using a spudger to get in here, just to more easily get it off. But you can see there's a little compartment there. I think they're AG3. I'm not 100% sure. I got batteries that fit in there, and I'm just not sure if they're the right batteries. So I don't want to say. I looked on websites. I just can't find it. It's not in the instructions. It's not anywhere. But you put two batteries in there, and then close this up. And there's a button right here on the top of the head. Turn that around, and you get that nice light up feature. I think that looks really good. Very nicely done. My only issue with it is when it's off, the eyes look a little dead because there's no paint there. But you get some really nice articulation. The ears also rotate as well. Side to side, pretty much any direction you need out of that head. And again, the articulation is basically identical to what we got with Magic Square, so don't expect anything new. But the arms, the shoulders will go up to there, rotate forward on a ratchet, nice clicky ratchet. It does go out to the side, but it's a very tight joint, so I recommend supporting it. It's just very tight. You can hear it clicks nice. It's got a nice clicky ratchet, but it's very tight. Especially initially, it's a little tight, but you can see that. It does have the pull-out joint for a giant butterfly. Again, same as Magic Square, but it's nice tight tolerances there. It's not loose. Doesn't feel like a KO. Although I guess, I don't know, in a way it is a KO. But for the shoulder, we have rotation at the bicep. There's a double joint elbow. Shout out to Dr. Diecast who told me, hey, there's a big hole in the back of his arm. Well, that's because you got to bend the upper elbow to get this sculpted piece that's in there. And then you can bend the second elbow to get the full double jointed articulation. So it's nice. Rotation at the wrist. You have individual articulated fingers at 2 pins. And then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. Very nicely done hands. Articulated well and toleranced well. That's something I appreciate. Coming down to the waist is actually the same, but there's a little tab right in there. And I'm imagining that this pushes all the way down and clicks into place. I can't get it to click. It's not my copy, so I don't want to break it. But I was looking at the original, And this one doesn't have that little clicking point. It just kind of goes flat all the way. So I'm imagining that that is to lock it in place, and I'm just not pushing hard enough to get it to lock in place. And again, like I said, it's not my copy, so I'm not going to do it, but I think this will go flat all the way down. But you do get a giant ab crunch forward, backwards, and then you have a rotation at this joint here. So you can get him rotated. So he's really good at posing. For the legs, you get hip skirts on the front and on the side and the back. The front hip skirt will rotate with the leg. It's a very heavy leg. It's a lot of material in here. It does start drooping a little bit, more at the knee than anything, but the ratchet doesn't seem quite strong enough to hold up the leg. Back to there, it does rotate the hip skirt forward. If you get it all the way back, it will actually auto-rotate it. So you have to get this all the way back, and then it will do that for you. Out to the side on friction, way too heavy to have a friction joint here. That doesn't work. You have rotation at thigh around a universal. That's nicely done. You have a double jointed knee, just like the original. Gets you the full bend. Again, too much weight for the ratchet. There. You have ankle tilt, ankle pivot, toe tilt, heel tilt, and you have a little bit of a extending joint there. So nice movement in the feet, but a lot of the joints in the legs are just not strong enough to hold the weight. All right, let's go over his accessories. And first off, let's go over the head options. Now, this head is on a ball joint. I took the liberty of taking it off camera. It's a very tight ball joint. So just be careful, be cautious with it. I recommend, bending it backwards to get it off of here, but it's just, it's a tight joint. But here is the replacement head. You can see it's battle damaged. This one does not have a battery compartment. I checked. So unfortunately, you're stuck with the dead eyes on that one. You don't get the light up feature like you do on this one. But it is a good looking damaged head, from that one scene. And again, to get it in here, you have to pop it into this joint. It is very tight. So just use caution, but there you go. And it looks a little weird. I think it sits a little high on the joint. It works, but it looks a little bit, maybe it's too small or something. I'm not really sure what it is, what the issue is. It does seem a little off in terms of the sculpt or the size, something like that. But there you go for that one. And then again, you pop it off. I really recommend pulling it backwards. It's not easy to get off, but there you go. And we also have the Starscream head, which again doesn't have batteries light up, but this one is painted maroon or metallic red eyes, which really looks really good. And again, you can pop this on. My personal opinion is that looks too small. It looks like the head's too small for the body. And comparing, I'm not sure what it is. This head actually looks great. Maybe it's just the size of the helmet or the face. Maybe it's the face. But something about this face, this head, and this battle damage head, both of them seem too small. All right, we also get his matrix here, done in metallic gold and silver. It is plastic, not die cast. Does look good. If you push through on this blue piece here, push it forward, you can pop out this part of it. And it comes with this little light up piece here, which is magnetically controlled. So you're going to put that into here. Now I actually tried. I put batteries in here and tried to get this to light up. I couldn't get it to light up. It's a tight fit to get it into this compartment. So, I don't really know what's up with that. Like, it should just go in. Maybe it's intended to be tight. I don't know. But getting the back out of there is kind of a pain. I'm going to leave that in there, but this is keyed. There's a little ridge on one end. So you're going to line that up with this and make sure you got it on the right side. And in theory, you can open up the chest, get this open. This is the same as the Magic Square. And you can put this in here. And then you can bring in this energy block. And supposedly you can put it up next to it and it'll magnetically turn on. Like I said, I couldn't get the right batteries in there and couldn't get it to work. So I'm not sure if that accessory works. I'm going to leave that in there. But that's a nice looking matrix compartment and matrix. We also get his blaster done in this gunmetal, a little bit of silver paint there. Good looking blaster. Here's the original Magic Square. It is indeed an oversized, similar color. It's got a little bit extra paint. This also has a battery compartment. If you slide down this door, you'll see there's a compartment there. I use the same batteries. Again, I don't know the battery type because it's not written anywhere. But you can press the button right here on this part of the gun, and that'll light up orange. Pretty cool. And of course, this will fit in his hand. Little tab right there, similar to the Magic Square version. And that tabs in very nicely, very securely. He has no problem holding that. And it's not too heavy, so it doesn't weigh the arm down or anything like that. We also get his Energon axe. This is probably the cheapest accessory. It just doesn't look good. And let me just show you what I mean. Here's the Magic Square one, and here's the Pangu. You can see the plastic they used is just not this, it doesn't have the clarity. And so it ends up looking kind of cheap, like a Hasbro accessory. But it does work the same, so you're going to get this attached here. You can bring this down, and it'll sandwich around the hand. And now he's got his Energon axe in that translucent orange. The final accessory is the P-38, Walter P-38 gun, or Megatron. It doesn't have a symbol on it because typically these companies don't do that. But it is a good looking gun. I thought originally it was a copy of the MP Soundwave gun, the gun we got with the Soundwave Megatron gun, but it's not. You can disassemble it. You can take off the scope. You can slide up on the stock. You can slide off the barrel, I think. Maybe you can't slide this off. No, it's coming off. It's just very, very tight. And you can get it down to this handgun. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And this doesn't really fit well in the hand. It does fit. Let's put it back together. And we can get this out of the hand. This doesn't have the sliding thing. So on the original gun, it had a sliding mechanism to make it easier for characters to hold it. So let's see if this one can hold it. Yeah, I guess you got to fold this down. Maybe it'll fit. Yeah, it doesn't. In my opinion, this doesn't work. It's too small, first of all, as far as scale. It's too small of a gun, and it doesn't fit in his hand. So I don't understand. Why did they design this like this? If you're gonna make the accessory, just make it work. It needed to be a little bit bigger, and it needed a tab, so you tab it into the hand. But it is a nice looking gun. Now maybe let's see. What if we take this off? Does that work better? No, it's just awkward. So very strange accessory. Now this is the one that they had a lucky draw. So I think very few have a gold Megatron gun. So check your package. If you got a gold Megatron gun, you'll have a special collector card in that package. And one other new feature is he comes with a little communicator. So we go to this side, you open up this panel, You can see there's a keyboard up here done in silver and then a computer screen done in this metallic blue. It really looks like a computer screen. And he can be talking to Bumblebee or whoever back in base, and it really looks like a little laptop. It's kind of neat. Nice little add-on. It's only on this side. They don't have one on the other arm. But there you go. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. New Age Optimus Prime down there. And then Toy World Constructor here, so you can see it next to a combiner. And this is one of the reasons I didn't buy this personally, because I have nowhere to put this. It doesn't fit with really anything. It's just kind of its own standalone special piece. And me personally, I just don't have space for a standalone special piece. But it is a nice big bot if you're into that. And just for fun, there's a comparison with the MP57 Skyfire Optimus Prime minifigure. And you can see it looks like he's playing with a toy. That's how big he is. But there you go. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. And since this transformation is identical to the Magic Square version, and I did a really nice video on the transformation, so if you need it, you can go check that out. I'm going to skip the transformation here, and we'll get it transformed off camera and be right back. All right, and there is Commander in his vehicle mode. And this thing is huge, but it looks really good. The transformation, just to confirm, it is identical to the Magic Square version. There's no changes whatsoever. The plastic feels slightly better than the Magic Square. It's not that nylon. It seems a little bit stronger than that, but here's the side. You get that nice chrome, beautiful chrome wheels, rubberish tires. I think that's the rubberized plastic. It's not actual rubber, but it does roll very nicely on those wheels. Really heavy and, you know, just big. You can still open the doors, although there's nothing to see in there, just like the Magic Square. This panel sometimes likes to pop out. It's tabbed into the side, but that looks good. You got chrome rear view mirrors, chrome for the smokestacks. The smokestacks are plastic chrome, not die-cast chrome. I wish they were die-cast because they just feel a little cheap, but... Oh, and I forgot to extend these. You do want to extend those. And it looks good. You do have the paint back here, same as the Magic Square version for the feet. That looks good. For a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. And just to give you a sense of how big this really is, he can fit on top. So he can drive around Magic Square. So final recommendations on the Pangu Toys Commander. I'm going to give this guy a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. I think it works pretty well in robot mode and vehicle mode. It's basically a copy of Magic Square, so it does everything that you'd expect the Magic Square to do. Now, the only additional things that this has over that is the light-up eyes, the light-up gun, and the light-up matrix. So those are some nice additions. Like I said, I couldn't get the matrix to work, but it's probably because I have the wrong batteries. But those are nice additions. But other than that, it really is just a oversized copy of Magic Square. I was expecting a little bit more premium finish to it, or just premium quality overall. It doesn't feel any better. And there's actually a couple of areas where it just doesn't work out. For example, the hip joints and the knee joints are a little bit weak for the weight of the legs. So you have to kind of balance him. But if you're into big robots and you want a big Optimus Prime for a display, this is it. You know, this is a really good version. And for like a centerpiece, maybe, you know, this could serve the purpose. And he's obviously very posable as well, as you can see here. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.